Ayman Khan here for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. With me is the one and only Eddie Hearn. Eddie, it got intense, a bit spicy up in there with the promoter as well as with Derek Chisora and Kubrat Pulev. Your reaction?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was not too violent, but it was spicy enough to know that it means a lot to both guys. Must win for both. Get through to weigh-in tomorrow night and look forward to a great fight Saturday.
Has Derek Chisora always in the last recent years always been just about the prize fighting? Have you ever been able to wean him towards maybe getting a title shot or anything like that, wanting that?
He's fought for the world heavyweight title before, but he doesn't really care about that. He just wants to have great fights for as much money as possible. He's a prize fighter. He loves to entertain the fans. There's going to be a great atmosphere in there on Saturday night. A lot of people behind him, and hopefully he can get the victory.
Breezing through a couple of things here, Eddie. Liam Smith has left and he's gone to Boxer. I just wondered what the process is for letting go a fighter from Matchroom to let him go to the competition, I suppose. What's the thought process there when it comes to letting a fighter go?
So many different situations regarding fighter contracts. When a fighter's contract is up, a lot of the time you'll have matching rights on that. Sometimes you're just friends with them and they receive an offer that you advise them to take. Liam Smith was a good example of that. Chris Smith was an example of a fighter that we had the opportunity to match the offer, but didn't want to, just because it was a good opportunity for Chris, and I can't put Chris Smith in a headline fight yet. So there's various different, sometimes a fighter's just out of contract, but I'm also keen to make sure that fighters get great opportunities. So if there's a good opportunity for a fighter, then I think they should take it, especially a guy that might not be at the top of our priority list, but could be for someone else. And a couple of those guys are good examples.
Talk of Bivol and Boatsi, can you tell us how close it is and where would that happen?
Just in discussions at the moment, nothing too final. There's been an offer to Joshua Boatsi, and Callum Smith is also a candidate for that fight. So October, November, hopefully that'll happen.
Joe Markowski talked about slapping your wrists in terms of promoter-to-promoter conversations. Did that happen? What was that conversation like?
No, that didn't happen. Joe's a friend, he's new to boxing. I think from the outset, sometimes they don't realise how good, there's a lot of good about promoter beef. I mean, you guys love it particularly, don't you? But there is also the understanding, if you don't want to piss people off too much, that we can't work together. So we go through fits and troughs. I haven't had my wrist slapped by DAZN. But at the same time, we want to make sure we can make the big fights.
Final two questions for myself. Warren reacted to that, gave comments about how he should be dealt with in terms of promotion conversations. Did you see that?
About slapping me around the head. Yeah, I said yesterday that I couldn't slap Frank around the head because it's always moving too much.
And final question for me: is Kubrat Pulev an elite level heavyweight? And if Derek Chisora was to lose, would you because there was an interesting moment actually, Eddie, where he was talking about I love the game, I love the money, but you're like you've got to win though. If he loses, is he in your point of view? Would you still work with him?
He's in a tough spot. I mean, look, Pulev's a top 15 guy. No one can moan about that, but. So it's no disgrace, but at the same time, it's the fourth successive defeat. So I think there's pressure on him to win this fight. Yeah. He doesn't see the pressure because he just loves to fight. Yeah. But the public, everybody will say eventually, look, unless you drop down a level and start winning, which he's not prepared to do, you can't keep losing these fights.